to South Carolina. So Gypsy and I have been in South Carolina for about 4 days now, but we've been on the road for, I want to say it's approaching 3 weeks. And I've been getting a lot of questions about safety. Like, do I feel safe on the road, and how do I protect myself on the road in the event that something might happen? Well, I do have some safety tips for you guys, because you know that I'm used to traveling with Faustino, but traveling by myself is like a whole different ball game. So yeah, I'll get into that, but first we're going to the beach. Hey loves, so there was a slight change of plans. So we left Myrtle Beach because of the rain. Not only the rain, but there was really nowhere to park. So we decided to come to Army base, which is one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about when it comes to parking. So you guys know that in order to get on an Army base, you need a military ID card. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with our story, but we're an ex-military family. So with that ID card, we're allowed to go onto any Army base, Army base, Navy, Air Force, Marines, whatever. So we're able to go onto any base and stay at a fam camp. So a fam camp is something that's provided to military families that either live in RVs or they're traveling in RVs and they need somewhere to stay. The prices are usually much cheaper than a regular RV campground. So here at fam camp, there is hookups, there's water, there is a bathhouse, there's laundry. Everything that I might need is here on base. Now, the only thing about staying at a fam camp is that they're not everywhere. So they're not in every city. In the cities and the states that I don't find fam camps, what I'll do is I'll find a state park. So state parks is another option that you can use while overlanding. So we stayed at multiple state parks on our journey here. When there isn't a state park available or fam camp is full, then we will resort to staying at maybe a Walmart or a Cracker Barrel. I haven't had to stay at Walmart or Cracker Barrels often, but if I do happen to stay at a Walmart, what I do is I'll try and get there late. I like to call, even though I use an app called iOverlander, I still like to call the store just to speak to a manager and kind of make sure that they do allow overnight parking in their parking lot, because I don't want to be woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning by a police officer saying that I can't stay. So when I'm trying to find out where I want to park in the Walmart parking lot, what I do is I'll park under the brightest light. Because I feel like if somebody is going to break into the van, they're going to try and get the van over in the corner where there's no light by the trees. They're most likely not going to go and try to vandalize or burglarize the van that it's parked directly under the light. So when I get there, I don't get out of my van. I put my window shades up and I am in for the rest of the night. Gypsy is on a schedule, whereas she'll use the bathroom at 8 and then she won't go back out until 6 in the morning. So another thing that I do is when I park, I utilize my passenger door. I never get out of the driver door, because just in case somebody is watching, I want them to think that somebody is in my passenger seat, and that's why I didn't get out the door. Not only will I do that, but I'll get out the door sometimes and I'll close the door and I'll say, "Are you okay? Do you need something out the store?" I'm talking to myself clearly, because there's nobody here with me. But if you're looking and you don't know me, then why is there a fire truck? I'm sorry. But if you're looking at the van, like if you don't know that I'm traveling by myself, I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're going to think that somebody's in the van with me. And that's basically what I want you. So another thing is my window tint. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen my van in real life, then you know that we're blacked out. Although you can see out of the windows, you can't see inside of the van. which makes it even harder for someone trying to figure out what it is that we have in here or whether or not somebody is in here. Now, the tint that we have on our windows they're super dark. And we get a lot of questions about whether or not we have any issues with the tint. We don't have any issues with the tint. We haven't had any issues with the tint thus far. And like I said, it makes it harder for someone to look inside of the van. So yeah, tint, definitely. Check with your state and find out what's the tint regulations there. We're from New Orleans, so there kind of isn't any. Just kidding. I kid. I'm serious though. Just be aware of your surroundings. Follow your gut. If it doesn't feel right, trust your instinct and leave. We were at a park and I thought that I was going to stay at the park for the night because, I mean, it was a pretty cool park. They didn't have any no parking signs around. So, I mean, jackpot. And it had a plug where I can plug the van in. So later on that night, as I'm settling down, I just looked out the window and I saw there was a van next to my van. And it had two guys in the van. And one of the guys was looking at his phone and pointing at the van. So I can see that he went to our YouTube channel because we have a decal on the van that says Tenaj and Tino. So he went to the YouTube channel and he's looking at the YouTube channel and he's pointing like, oh, that's the van. Well, he didn't seem like he was a threat, but his friend, on the other hand, I just did not get good vibes from his friend at all. And I decided to leave because I feel like I didn't want it to be one of the situations where, okay, you see that I'm a solo female traveler, and then you leave and come back at 3 o'clock in the morning because you see that I'm a solo female traveler, which brings me into my next thing, decals. Tenaj and Tino's on the van, on the side of the van, big as, just super big, right? Cute, yes. Smart, no. I don't think that if you're traveling by yourself and safety is a priority to you, I really don't think that you should be driving around with your name, your decal on the side of your vehicle. Why? Because that brings attention to you. If I didn't have the decal on the side of the van, then the van just looks like a regular camper van. You don't know who I am. You don't know what my Instagram channel is. You don't know who's traveling with me. But the fact that I have Tenaj and Tino on there, you can pull up Tenaj and Tino and any social media outlet, you'll see, oh, Tenaj is traveling without Tino these days. So if somebody definitely wanted to do me harm, then they know I'm by myself. And that's not cool. So decals, cute. Yes. Smart. No. So just think about it. You know, it's something that I didn't think about until that night. So I don't know, it's just something to think about. Another thing that I usually do once I have stopped for the night is I'll drop my location. It takes less than 10 seconds to pick up your phone and drop your location. That way someone knows your whereabouts at all times. And if you have a mom like my mom, who is, hi mom, who is always concerned, especially if I'm traveling alone, then I think that it brings a little peace knowing where I'm at. And, okay, this is extremely basic, but I feel like I have to say it anyway. Make sure your doors are locked. Sometimes you can get into the van and there's like a million things to do all at once and maybe you'll forget. I'm not that type of person. I don't forget. Not only do I not forget to lock my doors, but I also keep my keys in the back by me. That way, if someone so happens to break into my window, they're not getting my keys that's above my headrest because my keys aren't there. My keys are actually in the bag by me. Not only are my keys in the bag by me, but I also have an alarm on my keys. And if I press the button, then the alarm goes off. And I think that sound would probably deter someone from coming into the van any further. Now, when it comes to self-defense, I suggest that you guys keep something close to you. Whether you have a knife or you have nunchucks or you have a bat, whatever it is that you have, make sure it's in arm's reach. Therefore, if something happens, then you can easily get to it, as opposed to trying to figure out where did I put it or where is it. Make sure that it's right there. So get in a habit of putting something close to you when you're in the back of the van. So one thing that I would suggest is when you're walking to your van, make sure you have your keys in your hand. You don't want to be trying to find your keys once you get there. You never know who's already there waiting. So my thing to do is, as soon as I get to the van, I hit the unlock, I open the passenger door, and I get in the passenger door, which is another, I get in the passenger door, I get out of the passenger door. That's just how I move. Now, when you get to a space, please don't pull in. Don't pull in because, you're in a van and your van is huge. So it's a little harder to maneuver than a small car. So what we do, or what I do, is when I get to a place, I'll back into my parking spot. That way, if I have to leave in a hurry, I can just grab my keys, jump in the front seat, and go. Which brings me to another thing. Make sure at night your front seat is clear. You do have to grab your keys and jump into the front seat. You don't want to be moving pillows and shoes and clothes out of the way. Make sure that your front seat is clear and you're really ready to pull off in case of an emergency. As far as sharing my location on social media, I don't share, let me clarify that. I don't share my location on social media unless I'm already gone. So when you guys see me post, if you see me post something on Instagram or you see me post here on YouTube, I've already left. I don't think that it's smart to be in a place by yourself and to share your location. Oh, look, I'm here. I know you want to show your friends and your family what amazing times that you're having on your solo journey or on your journey period, but you have to be smart about it. Don't post your location until after you've left that location. So if you have any tips or tricks that you can share with the community, please put them in the comments below, because like I said, I know that I haven't covered everything, but these are the things that I can think about right now that have me feeling much more prepared for solo female van life. Well, guys, until next time, deuces!